It's the hottest place in Statesboro, Georgia to be, the campus of Georgia Southern University, brought to you by Ford. It's the WSAB Blitz Basketball Series. We're live from Georgia Southern University as the Panthers get set to take on the Georgia Southern Eagles. Hi, everybody. I'm WSAB sports anchor Ken Slats. Joining me from the Savannah Morning News, Don Heath. Don, thanks so much for being here for this game.
Oh, thanks for having me, Ken. I really appreciate it.
Don is the basketball and football beat writer for Georgia Southern University. And Don, this is a game we've anticipated for a long time. I looked at the schedule at the beginning of the year when we scheduled this game, and we knew this game would mean a lot, and that's exactly what it means.
Yeah, everybody knew that Georgia State was going to be here. They won 25 games last year, 17-1 in the conference. Was Georgia Southern going to be here, though? They only won 15 in the Southern Conference last year, and their stock was questionable, but they've made a big comeback this year. They're 8-2. They're in first place, and Georgia State is trying to catch them right now.
Which is really surprising. I think Georgia Southern obviously is the surprise team as the team is coming out now onto the court at Hanner Fieldhouse for the warm-ups, and this place is loud. We can tell you that. First place on the line, as we said, an 8-2 record, an 8-3 record for Georgia Southern. Now, if Georgia Southern should drop this basketball game, they will slip into third place quite possibly, because University of UL Monroe could slip in front of them as well. But there's three teams really battling it out for those spots, each with 8 wins, and the excitement is growing here at Hanner Fieldhouse. What's the key for Georgia Southern really? Because this Georgia State team is a very, very solid, experienced, big-time basketball team.
They're experienced and they're explosive. They have great guards, and whenever a team has great guards, you've got to stay in front of them. You can't give them open looks. Can't let them get out in the open court and run. And you're just going to have to play good, solid team defense to stay in front of them.
A couple of players that they have on the team, R.J. Hunter at 20 points a game, Ryan Harrow at 20.6 points a game. Those are a 1-2 duo. They're about as good as you get in this conference.
I talked to Coach Byington yesterday, and he said it's like an ACC-type backcourt. That's how good these guys are. Hunter is the outside shooter. He's coach's son, 6'6", so he can get a shot off. And then Harrow's played point guard for Kentucky. Started for Kentucky.
That says a lot right there.
So what does that tell you?
What can an atmosphere like this do? I know they've won the last couple of Thursday night games, and they've had as big a crowds as they get. Now the students are all fully back in position. And as you can tell, this game sold out as far as general admission a couple days ago. Just a few seats up in the corners to pack up, but I got a feeling there will be. And this could be one of the biggest crowds we've ever seen here at Hanner.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of jumped on the bandwagon a little bit. It's a winning team. Nobody saw this coming, and now it's kind of exciting to be part of it. I think there's only bigger games ahead for Georgia Southern, no matter what happens tonight. And it's going to be exciting throughout the rest of February and into March.
Don, we talked about the dynamic duo over at Georgia State. As far as Georgia Southern's concerned, Jelani Hewitt, this team kind of goes and comes with what Jelani Hewitt does. He's the definite leader, the scoring leader. Jelani Hewitt with 71 assists, so leads the team in scoring and giving up the basketball. They need to get him hot quickly, and he needs to get going.
Yeah, Jelani, you know what? So the key to their team, although Jelani's going to be a key offensively, is they play really good defense.
Right.
And they're athletic. And the last Thursday night game against Appalachian State, Hewitt had, I think, 2 points at halftime, and they had a 20-point lead.
Right.
So they can do it without Hewitt scoring. They just need to be playing defense, and Hewitt can give them that offensive lift that they need it.
Another player that, I've noticed coming over for the last month or so, Trent Wiedemann has kind of come into his own. And to win on any level, at a big level, you got to have that big guy that takes control. And we've seen spots of that. Trent Wiedemann kind of take over a basketball game from the center position.
Yeah, he can. 6'8", is about 240 pounds, I guess, or so. And that's a big man in the middle. And particularly at this mid-major level, if you have a 6'8" guy that can play like Wiedemann can, you've got quite a piece to the puzzle. And that's what Georgia Southern has, and they've got a couple other inside players as well. Angel Matthias, Eric Ferguson is another high scorer, 6'8", guard forward type. So they have pieces that they can win different ways.
Eric Ferguson, you talked about the local player that we have, two local players actually. Zach Altanius from Bullock Academy here in Statesboro as well. But the main one, obviously, is Eric Ferguson, the senior, scoring 8.7 points per game. Eric Ferguson, a little bit of a rough start off the season. He battled an injury. He spent some time in suspended as well to start the season, but he's back going full-time. And we will take a time out. We're going to quiet a little bit here, and we're going to listen in on the national anthem. And what a great atmosphere it is for college basketball, and we're set to bring you Georgia Southern and Georgia State. We will now stand for tonight's national anthem.
Let us rise as one nation and one people for the singing of our national anthem. Performing tonight's anthem, Ms. Anna Kessler.
Phenomenal job for tonight's national anthem as we're just about set to get things going here. Let's listen in on the PA announcer for tonight's starting lineups. First, we'll start with the Georgia State Panthers, also going with the GSU. And our starting lineups are Kevin Ware, number 00. R.J. Hunter is in at 22. We talked as one of the dynamic duo at guard. Ryan Harrow, a guard wearing number 55, something we don't always see. T.J. Ships and Marcus Kreider. That is your starting lineup for the Georgia State Panthers, a record of 15-7, 8-3 in the conference. And now the starting lineups for the Georgia Southern Eagles. And I can tell you one thing, this place is loud as we check out the projected starters. Mike Hughes in at number 2, Jelani Hewitt, the guard position, their leading scorer at number 5. Jake Alsmiller's done a great job starting as well. Number 10, Angel Matias, just a scrapper, just gets the job done in your starting lineup. Trent Wiedemann. Here at Hanner Fieldhouse, it's loud. Don Heath, along with yours truly, Ken Slats, bringing you all of tonight's basketball action. Don, a basketball team, they can go with a lot of different guys, and they have a lot of guys contribute. They all kind of have their own niche. They all do a lot of good things. He talked about Angel Matias, I think, and Curtis Diamond, just a lot of guys contributing in so many different ways.
Yeah, this is a team that that goes deep with the contributions that it's going to get from different players. Some guys are scorers, and other guys can play lockdown defense. It'll be interesting to see the two freshmen that start, Mike Hughes and Jake Alsmiller, freshmen starting in a big-time game like this. See how they handle things.
Any surprise with the starting lineup, putting in a couple freshmen in a big game like that, or not?
Well, this is what they do. They start these guys. You know, this is who starts for them, and it's because of the defensive effort that you get. Hughes is really athletic around the basket as well. So Alsmiller is a three-point specialist, and Hughes very, very athletic, good lockdown defender too.
This is a team that has not yet lost a home game. Georgia Southern 9-0 at home here at Hanner Fieldhouse, and this possibly could be one reason as to why they are. So we're set for the jump ball. It ships in the center, and he will jump against Trent Wiedemann, and we're getting set to go in a loud Hanner Fieldhouse, and we're underway on the WSAV Blitz basketball series. It's the Panthers of Georgia State starting things off on offense, going in their all-black uniforms from left to right here at Hanner Fieldhouse. No scores. We're underway.
That's man-to-man that Georgia Southern's playing right now, and it looks a lot like a zone sometimes because they'll switch a lot.
Hunter's the scorer. Don, you said he's one of the taller players that can score quickly. They go down low. Nice defense.
That's Hughes.
Shot.
Hughes on the block. He went up against a guy that's probably 6 inches taller and blocked the shot.
So it's Hughes over to Alsmiller. They're swinging all the way around. They'll try and find something down low. They'll look for Trent Wiedemann, try and go high-low with him, trying to get the ball inside. It's Jelani Hewitt on the near side, heading to the middle of the court now. Looks like a zone defense, Georgia State. Showing zone as they drop back into. Hewitt now with the basketball. And it's Hewitt from long range three. The first three is up and off the mark from straight away, and it's Georgia State pulling down the rebound. That's R.J. Hunter pulling it down. Back and forth, long range three from the left-hand side, and that's Ryan Harrow, the transfer out of Kentucky, who can't pull the trigger.
That's a little too far away there.
To the left-hand side, it's Alsmiller for the first three of the game. No go. It was a foul on the field before the shot, so that one will be wiped off. Actually, I think he may have stepped on the inbounds line. Yeah, I think he stepped on the line. His back foot was on the line. It's a tight arena here. You know, there's not much room along the sidelines, and it's a very tight bandbox type atmosphere on the field.
And it's very tight tonight. There's a lot of people standing around the sideline.
So there's no score on this scoreboard. No score as Georgia State brings the basketball down. Try and swing it around to get those guards free from the outside. Very good shooters. It's Kevin Ware. We'll talk about Kevin Ware, a transfer as well into this Georgia State program.
Nice help defense there by Hugh.
Harrow trying to get something moving, but instead, long-range shot from the right-hand side. Bounced around. Jelani Hewitt gathers it. So we're about 2 minutes into play with no score on the scoreboard, and Jelani Hewitt running the show from the top. He's being checked by Harrow. Swinging around to Hughes on the left side. The fans still standing. I don't think anybody has sat down here at Hanner Fieldhouse yet.
A lot of nervous energy out there.
On the court and in the stands, possibly. Don. Long shot from the right-hand side, and it's in. Hughes hits the first bucket, and he knocks down a three. It's 3-0 Eagles.
Well, we're wondering how the freshman would start out, and that's not a bad start.
Ice in his veins. So it's Ryan Green now running the point out front. He has Marcus Kreider who gets the basketball outside. Back to Green. Fans surrounding the court, all the way around the court, all the way. One of the largest crowds I've ever seen. I was here a couple Thursdays ago when they had a good crowd, but I think they may have topped it right here. All the way down to the hoop, tried to slam dunk it, but lost the basketball going up, and that'll be a foul. And that'll be going to the free throw line, Marcus Kreider.
I think it was a foul. I think it was he lost the basketball because Alsmiller tapped him on the wrist there.
So Alsmiller called for his first foul.
Good foul, though. Would have been a dunk.
That'll send Marcus Kreider to the free throw line. Marcus Kreider for the first of two is up and in. Second of 2 is up, and he drains a pair, so Kreider's in the books with 2. It's a 3-2 game. Little pressure, full court pressure by Georgia State.
Just extending the 1-3-1.
Still Alsmiller with the basketball. Very poised freshman back out to Jelani Hewitt. A lot of experience for Hewitt, more than 1,000 points in his career at Georgia Southern. He's meant a lot to this program for the last couple of years. Alsmiller trying to get the ball. Wiedemann turns around from the corner of the key. Wiedemann with a spin move, loses the ball, picks it back up, spins around, a fadeaway, no good. Angel Matias, what he does best, he scraps down the road, and Matias in the books with his first basket. I said how scrappy he was. That's what he can do, Don. He can create things.
Yeah, he's a garbage man, that's for sure. And he just picked up some garbage and laid it back in the basket.
The crowd behind me, the student section, has not yet sat down across the way. The adults, the season ticket holders, they're settled into their seat in a 5-2 game. Here as we approach 4 minutes into the basketball game. Baseline spinning around, the three's up in the air, off the mark for Ryan Green. Rebound ripped down and almost knocked in by Kreider, but he can't get it. We got a whistle. Jelani Hewitt wants a jump ball. And what will the officials say? 31, TJ Ships with the foul.
I didn't really quite see that one.
Little scrambling going on down low, and must have been a little reach in, so Georgia Southern back with the basketball. Jelani Hewitt slowly with the basketball. Have yet to see a substitute, although we will have a substitute. Curtis Washington set to check in for the Panthers, kneeling down in front of the seat. So here's Hughes to the left side. Hewitt, Wiedemann looks like he wants to take the jumper from about 20. No go. Swings it around, and ball bounced and out of bounds, and they'll go back to Georgia Southern.
Gosh, you try not to throw those passes.
And this is a timeout. We're going to take it as well. Our first timeout. It's 5-2 right now. Eagles over the Panthers on the WSAB Blitz Basketball Series.